Views expressed in the videos are my observation, analysis of events, persons based on principles of astrology. It's not my intent to predict, forecast absolute outcomes, only suggest how they may unfold. Nothing is set in stone. I could be wrong, but often I'm right. My desire is not to promote fear, only inform about what we see unfolding. It is our wish to prepare our subscribers for events that could affect them, their family, their goals, and their future, to help to prepare for what you may already suspect is happening, and to send a warning shot across the bow and raise a flag of concern. Our goal is to help, not hinder, in these perilous times, to inspire and offer possible direction, and to reveal that a greater plan and purpose are behind all that is happening. Eventually, we will see a brighter day. If you would like to show your appreciation for our work on these videos or this channel, and also the Knowing Whispers channel, you can always click on the word thanks at the bottom of all the videos. Hello everybody, it's Robert Cosmar again here on Friday, and this is my second video today. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch the Kamala Harris video and have decided whether or not it makes sense to you. I've been working on this particular teaching that I'm going to be doing here today for several days. And as you can see on your screen, the name of it is called Descent into Darkness, the Path America is On. And what I'm going to do here on the next slide is to show you a step-by-step process of how darkness begins. It starts with a seed, and that seed is a lie, okay? And then from that lie, it progresses to different levels. Most of the time, we are so focused upon our mind and our emotions that when we are in a particular state that I'm going to be showing you here, we don't realize that it can progress and to what extent it can progress. And what I'm going to be showing on this next particular slide here is where I feel the Democratic Party is right now and where the Republican Party is right now. And I hope that you'll take this seriously, all right? And I think that you'll probably relate to the process, the steps that I'm showing you here, because they are very real. You know, there is a wisdom to elevating our consciousness to higher levels of awareness. There's also, all right, a way of devolving into deeper, darker levels of ourselves that can lead to some extremely unfortunate circumstances. So let me go ahead and go here to the next graphical image. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here so you can take a look at this. Okay, now follow along with me. Okay, I'll go through this slowly, and I'm hoping that you'll see the progression here and that you'll relate to maybe your own experiences, or you'll also relate to what you see happening on TV with the Democrats and the Republicans. The lie, all right, believing a lie. Lies are the seeds that darkness grows on. The truth is what the light builds the foundation for us to rise into the truth. Okay? So it's a big deal. It's a big deal, particularly when people believe a lie, as you can see. Okay? And contrary to the popular belief that everybody is mentally mature, consciously aware, know right from wrong, this is not true. It's not true all the time, okay? So what happens when there is a lie? And relate this to your own relationship. Somebody lied to you, a good friend lied to you, a spouse lied to you, okay? Your girlfriend lied to you, all right? The progression inside of you as to what that does, okay? It creates confusion. It creates disbelief. It creates distrust. and then ultimately isolation if it is not resolved, okay? And then fear can kick in at this point. Now, I call this part of this diagram that I'm showing you here the Neptune influence, because Neptune, as I've mentioned many times before, dissolves things, okay? Or it makes the thing that we thought we could trust, we could believe in, that we felt was reality, it pulls the rug out from under our feet, all right? And it creates these effects: confusion, disbelief, distrust, isolation. I don't trust you. You know, you hurt me. I don't like you. So I'm going to separate myself from you. And I'm going to carry all of that anger and that distrust that's building inside of me with me. And I'm going to protect myself because that's what the ego does. Okay? That's what the ego does. That's why it searches for control, because it doesn't want to be hurt. All right? Now, what happens after that? All right, what's the next step beyond the isolation, the self-protection, the ego coming in, you know, and saying, it's okay, we'll make sure that you don't make that mistake again. Fear strengthens, okay? If we cannot find a higher purpose in something that is happening or has happened to us that hurt us, if we cannot learn something positive from that, what can happen is that fear strengthens, okay? We become defensive, all right? We become shut down. And this is when the dark consciousness begins to show itself, okay? Where you distrust, okay? You feel that because of one episode that maybe you don't fully understand why it happened, that you can't trust others. So you build up a protective wall and you treat everybody else like that, okay? Now, if fear, again, if dark consciousness is not stopped somehow from growing, what happens is that it morphs into anger, okay? It morphs into hatred, okay? This is what happens when you cannot or will not forgive either yourself or someone else, is that fear and hatred will begin to take over your imagination. And every time that you think about a particular individual or situation, it makes you angry, and the anger feeds on the imagination, and the imagination feeds on the anger, okay? So, you know, that by itself is bad enough. That's painful enough all by itself, but it goes even deeper than that, okay? Way deeper than that, okay? When fear and anger become the obsession of your imagination, it can set you into a state of panic. Okay, now follow along with me here. Just as there are levels of conscious awareness that can separate you from your mind, your emotions, and your imagination into higher blissful states of consciousness and awakening, darkness has its own qualities to it that can pull you down into darker levels of conscious realizations. And at a certain point, you can't find your way home. You can't remember who you once were, okay? You just know that you are in a fit of panic, okay, at the point of no return, and you're going to make two decisions. You're either going to stop and turn around, and you're going to go back, okay, to looking at yourself, examining yourself, or you're going to give in to the panic, the maddening panic, okay? And some of your thinking, some of your decisions and actions will seem absolutely bizarre, okay? Panic can evolve into chaos, okay? And in a way, you can see here the progression of Donald Trump, okay? Or anybody that you know that's like that, all right? A narcissist type individuality, all right? Chaos in its most extreme level brings into madness, okay? Now, for those of you who have wondered, how can soldiers do the abominations they do in war? What is it that pushes them over the edge? It's somewhere here between the panic and the chaos and into the madness, okay? The type of person that you can become in a situation where your life is threatened is not known to most people. Okay? I only know it myself from the Vietnam veterans that I have talked to, that I have known, and other soldiers that I have known. Okay? Many soldiers have said that war is a psychic experience all by itself, and that your senses and stuff are extremely heightened by it. Okay? And again, the danger is that it transforms you. You're not the level-headed individual growing up in an environment with mothers and fathers that were respectful and honorable and brought you up correctly and friends that supported you. You're in a chaotic, maddening situation. All right? Madness evolves into violence. And here's where Pluto comes in. Okay? Violence, the ultimate form of madness, the ultimate form of self-righteousness, okay? The ultimate form of selfishness. Okay? Me, 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 me. I'm going to do this for me, not for anybody else. Violence can lead to revolution, obviously. Revolution can lead to war. Okay, and now you kind of see how this is progressing, and it gets worse, and maybe up until this particular teaching that I'm giving you here, you never thought about all these different variables and that they're linked. Okay, that consciousness has a continuum, like I said earlier, that can raise us higher in our awareness of life or lower into what we call darkness, the ultimate selfishness, okay, of consciousness. War leads to death. Death leads to control. And then control ends up in darkness. Okay? Now, you can see here lately that the Democratic Party, for example, okay, is kind of teetering here around the panic button. Okay? It's kind of a subtle thing in and out because most of it actually is kind of up here with confusion, disbelief, distrust, isolation, okay, in a way. You see people isolating themselves from the rest of the body of democracy, you know, wanting to have Joe Biden kicked out, this type of thing. I mean, lies, when they are believed, are the seeds of really our self-destruction, okay? You can also see here where the Republican Party or the MAGA Party, you know, MAGA part of it, has already embraced, okay, deep into anger, hatred, panic, chaos, madness. Okay, the violence, revolution, war, and death, and control and darkness haven't manifested yet, but they're out there. There's militia, okay, that are at different parts of the country that are already preparing for what's going to happen on the election. And no doubt there are contacts with Trump and other people, other organizations. He's all basically behind the scenes, secretly trying to get them amped up, trying to get them to be prepared so that if he is not elected, that he can make us all pay. Okay? That is his final, what would you call it? His final will and testament. Is that if you don't elect me, if I'm not made president again, you will pay. You will suffer. Okay? And more than likely than not, if that is the case, the people that are the MAGA supporters, the people that are the Republicans that have supported him, that have voted against their own conscience, they have no idea how much they're going to suffer. And of course, the rest of us from a Democratic side of things, okay, that's going to impact us as well too. All right? Because you can only imagine what a situation that evolves into chaos, madness, and violence, revolution, war, death, control. You cannot imagine what it would take to recover from that. Okay? Can you imagine waking up one morning not knowing that you can trust your next door neighbor? Okay? Can you imagine seeing people riding around in the back of dump trucks with AR-15s? It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But we should know by now that the unbelievable is possible. All right. And hopefully this is showing you the flow of dark consciousness, okay? And kind of maybe give yourself an idea where you're at on the continuum here, okay? We have to hold on to the hope of the good in life, that even though things look pretty dour right now, that somehow behind all of this, the universe has a plan and a plot, and that at some point that's going to reveal itself. But I feel like that they want us to make a decision too. This decision on November the 5th, 2024 is a decision to live our lives in hope or in fear, okay? And between now and that election, all right, things are going to get more disturbing than what they are right now. My feeling, astrologically, is that Donald Trump has a big surprise coming to him that he's not even consciously aware of. But that doesn't mean that certain situations cannot develop to make things look more unstable, more out of control. The lying, the chronic lying about Biden, the chronic lying about everything, and the most amazing part of this whole thing is that you have this large body of millions of people that seem to be confused, about what is true and what is a lie, about what is good and what is bad, about what is good and what is evil, And the question you have to ask yourself is, what does that say about them, What does it say about us, that we have created a world and a country where people are willing to selfishly take their own and to defend it against everybody else, because they're afraid that everybody else is going to take it away from them. All right. This is so strange in a way. The old Bible verse that says the love of money is the root of all evil. Well, without being, in that frame of mind, I think that we would agree that the love of money does create a lot of bad situations when it's in the hands of the wrong people. And we are in a situation right now where they're kind of fighting for who has that money, who's controlling it, who benefits, and who suffers. All right, I think I'm pretty much done here, and I covered pretty much everything. And the main thing was to show you this declining descent into darkness. Darkness is simply heartless selfishness. It is a do at all costs for yourself and the hell with everybody else. All right, and that should give you a little bit of an idea of what is going on in the psyche of Donald Trump and of who he is, because that's the gospel, so to speak, that he's been preaching now for about 6 years. All right, and he does not have goodwill for man or woman. As I said earlier here in this particular video, if he does not win, actually if he does win or if he doesn't win, he's going to make people suffer. All right, if he wins, he's going to make everybody, Democrat and Republican, suffer. If he loses, it'll be the same. But from what we've seen, the pattern with Donald Trump is that the people who follow him too closely, they're the ones that suffer the most. The Rudy Giulianis, the Steve Bannons. You get too close to Donald Trump and his way of thinking and doing, and you are flirting with your life. All right. Okay. I am done. Again, thank you for watching. I hope that you will share this on the internet if you get a chance to. I'd love to hear your comments about it. And as of yet, I don't know what my next video is going to be, probably going into next week, but I'm sure it'll be focused on something that's going on in the news. And as I've said many times in the past, I want to keep you aware of what's going on astrologically on the one hand, and I want you to be aware consciously of what is going on, and how this could impact you. how it could actually take you, blindside you if you're not careful. Okay. Again, for those of you that are members and those of you that are subscribers to the channel, thank you so much. Those of you that give donations, okay, whether it's monthly or occasionally, thank you so much. It is appreciated. And from the love of my life, CJ, my spiritual partner, my best friend, the love of my life, we thank you. And again, I hope that you have a great weekend. Take care now.